Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like the Dapper Dawn, giving them all, dressed like $1 million, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, why don't you join in? Yeah. Steve Harvey, get on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen to Steve Harvey. Yeah, won't you join in with me? If you're with me, help me say, turn your radio on. You gotta turn it on. Yeah. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Steve Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You're listening to The Voice. Come on, dig me now. One and only Steve Harvey. Got a radio show. Well, I got to tell you something, everybody, and this is great news for everybody, that I'm going to share something with your principle of becoming successful at whatever level you choose. It can be successful in a relationship, successful in a family. Success may be considered to you becoming a homeowner. It could be being debt-free. Your idea of success could be $60,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. It doesn't matter. If you're considering it, if you're wanting it, if you have a desire to become successful, I want to share with you the very beginning of that. If no one's ever done it, I'm going to say the beginning of it today. See, Scripture makes it very clear for us. The only thing you need to become successful is already inside of you. It's not an external need. God wouldn't do that to you. He puts the core basis of everything you need inside of you. So if you discover it, if you tend to it, nurture it, fertilize it, and water it, it grows, it branches out. Then it reaches out externally and it starts grabbing things outside of there to make it even bigger, stronger, better, last longer. But in the very beginning, you don't need anything. It's all within you. And if you cultivate your relationship with God, it comes out, it flourishes. Now, let me tell you, that thing that I'm talking about is a God-given gift that He has given to all of us. We all possess it. It is all within us. Everybody has a gift. Had somebody told me what I know now, back then, I would have saved myself tons of mistakes. I just didn't know the principles. I had to learn them all. Well, one of the principles of becoming successful is your mindset. You got to get your mind right. Now, this mindset is simply a decision that you can make. I can't get it for you. I can tell you what to do, but you got to make the decision. You that's listening have to decide, you know what? I'm going to go on and get at it. I'm going to stop renting. I'm going to become a homeowner. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop living check to check. I'm going to put a budget together. I'm going to stop stepping out on my family. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to stop using. When you make these decisions, that's correcting your mindset. Now, the closer connection you have with God, the more help you get sustaining the mindset. How many times have you started to do something and you stopped? How many resolutions have you made at the new year and stopped by February? Over with by mid-January, done in March. Because if you don't have a clear connection with your Creator to help you carry out, the other force out there, that evil force, is designed to get you not to reach your goals, get you not to come to resolution with whatever the resolutions are you made, so you can consider yourself not worthy or a failure or unable to do something. But the more things you are able to accomplish, the greater your confidence grows. So we got to get your mindset together. Your mindset is a decision that you have to make. When you make the decision, you can begin the process. Your mindset is also a will of yours, a will along with the decision, a willingness to do right, a willingness to change, a willingness to be better. It's going to then cause you to have to make a decision to make a change of direction. Don't go where everybody else going. You got to go your way now. You can't follow the crowd. You got to take a less traveled path. You cannot do this without changing your direction. You can't keep hanging with the people you've been hanging with if you want to be different, because they not. Then you have to develop an obligation to yourself. You've got to say, you know what, for me and my family, or if you don't have a family, for me, I owe it to myself. I have an obligation to myself to be the best me that I can possibly be, to be the best self that I can possibly be, to be the best father, the best man, the best husband, the best wife, the best mother, the best daughter, the best son, the best student, the best employee, the best owner. You have an obligation to yourself to give yourself a shot at the best life you can. That's an obligation. You owe that to yourself. Why would you not live the best life that you possibly could? You have an obligation to yourself. Why would you cheat yourself like that? Why would you take yourself and never allow yourself to see the goodness that's already in you, to have the abundance that's been promised to you, to go and explore all the riches out there that's available to you? And but one of the worst ways that you can rob yourself of the joy of your obligation is to keep comparing yourself to somebody else. Because guess what, man? That ain't your life. You ain't Jay-Z and Beyonce. You're not Oprah and Stedman. That's not who you are. Quit looking around at everybody else. That comparison of everybody else will keep you broken. It'll keep you unhappy. You won't even be able to be grateful for what you have because you steady talking about what you don't have. That's not the way, man. You have an obligation to yourself to be the best you can be, not the best them. You're not them. Stop trying to be them. Be the best you. It's cool. You got a nice little house. That's cool. You know how many big houses is empty and filled with hate and resentment? I'd rather have a smaller house filled with joy in it than to go to a big house. Man, Prince got a line in a song that says, I realized in its best disguise, a pretty house don't make a home. Man, don't you know I know how true that is. So I'm just trying to tell you. Now, another part of the mindset is taking dead aim at your life's goals and ambitions. What are they? What are your goals and your visions? What do you see for yourself? What do you dream about? If you knew you couldn't fail at whatever it is you were attempting, what would you go attempt? See, that's what we need to be after. It's a mindset, y'all. It's a decision. It's a will. It's a change of direction. It's an obligation to yourself. It's taking dead aim at your life's visions and goals. Come on, man. You got to get your mind wrapped around this thing. You owe it to yourself to live the best life you can be. Come on, man. Talk to God. God got something for you. You just got to check in with him.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies, Gentlemen, boys and girls, circus trainers, animals of all kind, animal lovers, especially people who love animals, but people who don't place animals above humans. Those people too. I want the animal lovers that place animals on an equal scale as humans, and I want the humans who do not treat animals as though they are human. So that'll cover everybody. Welcome to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. This what it is. Look at him. Look at him. Shirley Strawberry.
Yeah. Look at here. Hello, Steve Harvey. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. Carl is out today. Junior.
Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody.
Hey.
And fool number one.
Yes, sir. In the building, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it cracking.
Still broadcasting live from Cairo, Egypt. I mean, the pyramids are here. What an amazing thing. Marjorie went to see him today. I, of course, was working. Marjorie is living her best life. And I'm paying for that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, her and the kids and the grandkids have the best life. And I finance the best life. That's my job. But you know what's crazy, man? It's
Nothing's
actually
wrong with
fulfilling
anything you just
for me.
said.
No, it's very fulfilling for me when I look and I see the people that can benefit from it. The whole goal was to be able to provide for my family. And for those men out there who are providing for your families. Matter of fact, today's show is dedicated to all the men out there that's providing for their families, for their children, at whatever level it is. If you are providing and sustaining the lives of people around you, your children, your girl, your mom, your dad, any relatives, anybody you supporting, this show is dedicated to those men. Married, unmarried.
Yeah.
This show, and at whatever level you are, you ain't got to be in Cairo to be a man. That's not the measure of manhood. Now, all men we on the same level. It's just different circumstances. But it ain't got nothing to do with your manhood, though. You can believe that. My greatest friends ain't got that much money. But I'm telling you what, though, if something pop off, that's them the ones I want. I don't want none of the dudes I know that got money. I want all my pro friends, because them the ones, them boys right there,
They go hard in the paint.
Dog, Manny Calhoun, Butch Meadow, Al Brown, Ricardo Prude, the legendary Biggie Wig, Froggy, Tommy Cameron, Rico, Chico, Walt, Marvelous Marvin, Spado, all them boys. All members of the Dirty Four. The Dirty Four. Brutus, Buzzy, Marvelous, and Wonderlove. The damn Dirty Four. Boy, that's who I go to war with. Them damn Dirty Four, boy.
All right, Steve. Coming up 32 minutes after the hour. That's just what we did. It sounds like I got some really sad news, Tommy, for you. All right, we'll be back to talk about it right after this at 32 minutes after the hour.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Ann will be here with our national news, and in entertainment news, we'll talk about what Super Tuesday means for us. But right now, it is time for the nephew to run that prank back. What you got for us, Nev?
Law and order, Shirley. Law and order. Let's go. Come on,
what does that mean?
Good morning, Benjamin Law and Associates Office.
Hey, how you doing? I'm trying to speak to the lawyer, Mr. Benjamin. Is he in?
He's not in, sir, but I can help you. I can get all your information and also get your actual complaint at hand, and then I can get you scheduled.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Joelle. What's your name?
Joelle. My name's Dwight Turner. I'm
Dwight Turner.
I'm trying to file a lawsuit on somebody. I ain't never done this before, but I'm trying to file a lawsuit on somebody, and I don't know. Everybody tell me Ben's a good attorney or whatever, so I wanted to call and talk to him and see how I'm supposed to go about this right here.
Okay, well, can I get all your information, and then I can get you scheduled? He's not in the office right now.
Okay.
But I can help
you. Is he coming back today, though? Am I going to be able to talk to him today?
I'm not sure. He's in court all day, and I'm pretty much his everything.
So when am I gonna get to talk to him then?
He's pretty good on getting back to you. He will get back to you probably tomorrow. But it's actually better to schedule as the only way you can meet with him, and you'll actually meet with him face to face. The consultation is free. You can sit down with him and have that one-on-one and explain everything that's going on.
So what you need from me? Because I want to come see him tomorrow if I can get on his schedule tomorrow.
I need your full name, your date of birth, and your address.
My name's White. Okay, my date of birth.
Okay.
Hold on, let me ask you. Let's skip all that. Can you just take down what's going on with the whole situation that's at hand? I'll give you all that other stuff later. I want you to write down what's going on first, because that's what's bothering me. I need to get this off my chest.
And what is the actual complaint? What's going on?
I want to file a lawsuit on my girlfriend's husband.
Excuse me?
I want to file a lawsuit on my girlfriend's husband.
Are they still together? Are they still married?
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand.
No, they still married. They together and everything. That don't bother me right there. But I want to file a lawsuit on him though. So
you're her boyfriend. She's still married. They live together. They're not legally separated. Nothing like that. No, they live together. They got kids. All that. I ain't tripping on that part right there. But I'm. So you're her boyfriend? Yeah. Okay, and you want to sue her husband for what? For messing up our relationship, for getting in the middle of what me and her got going on. Sir, I'm sorry, that's not a crime. That's not grounds for a lawsuit. Hello? He messed up everything we got going on. Now he's taking the phone from her. He taking my name out of it. Okay. And when I send a text message, he answering the text message back. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that's all going on, but that's not suitable for our type of law. We don't handle any cases like that. Infidelity, which it sounds like what's going on, that's not grounds for a lawsuit. We don't address that type of thing. Okay, so what you talking about? Infidelity? Look, I know you're sleeping with a married woman, and you have a relationship with her, and you want to sue her current legal husband. Yes, I want to sue him. Messing up your relationship. Actually, you're the actual outsider. You're the actual person that's in the wrong. If you want to make a complaint. Hold on. What's your name again? I told you it's Joelle, sir. Hey, Joelle, ain't nobody asked you for your opinion. I called the street. There's no need for cursing. Hello. There's no need for cursing. I cannot help you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't even know how to refer you to the lawyer. Y'all help no way. I called to speak to Benjamin Lewis. Sir, I don't even know how to get you to the lawyer. There's no lawyer that's not going to do this. Please, don't call me with this. You trying to take me out of my pocket, man. You cursing. I ain't trying to take you. I ain't trying to take you out. You call me about somebody's husband? Are you serious? First of all, your job is to take the notes down. No, my job is to have some common sense. My job, you a old ass man, a married woman. You need to have common sense. Who you think you talking to? I know, Joelle. That's who you talking to. No, you're not cursing me. You're not cursing me. I cannot take this call, sir. Sir, I don't want to hang up on you, and I don't want to misrepresent this law office. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you something. Have some morals and know what lawsuits are. Don't call me with this dumb sir. For real. Let me tell you, you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't even know. You're going to make me come down there and whoop some at that office. You lucky anybody in this office. Got me cursing off languages and I don't even know you. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm about to hang up. You gonna make me come to that law office and whoop some ass. To whoop who ass? Sweetheart, I got 7 brothers. They will you up. All 7. 1 through 7. Whoop that ass. Okay, let me go. Okay, what? Yo, sir, go take care of your kids. Go find a woman who's unattached. My kids in this. Yo, I'm trying to save you need counseling. Sir, I'm trying to save my relationship. That's what I'm trying to do. You got me cursing and mentioning the pastor all at once. Please, do not call here ever again. I ain't going to stop till I talk to Benjamin. I wish Mr. Benjamin was in here because he will let you know he do not take cases like that at all. So, listen, sir, you cannot sue for infidelity. You cannot sue. You can't. Let me ask you. How long your ass been working now? Excuse me? How long your been working at me? How long you been cheating with a woman? No, you're mad with your old ass. That ain't your Honestly, now, I've been working here for 10 years. Keep a job longer than your black ass.
Okay, I know what this damn law office
Sir,
is. Okay.
Sir, you wasting your time. You are completely, you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time.
You know what? This what I already know about you, Joy. I already know about you.
How you know me? You don't know about me.
I know you.
You don't know a damn thing about me. I know about
this.
your raggedy ass. You are people with and women who got husbands.
I know you go to boot camp every morning.
Man. He should whoop your I go where? Excuse me?
You go to boot camp every morning, don't you?
Excuse me?
Don't you work out? Don't you work out with a boot camp group every morning?
Who the is this? Don't get silence now. Who is this? How you know about me going to boot camp?
Do you know Vetta?
Excuse me?
This is nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your girlfriend Vetta got me to prank phone call you.
You about to get me fired. You about to get me fired. You want to have me this old man up. Oh, no, man. Yo. Heck no. No, I'm not good. You lucky I love you, yo. Hi, nephew Tommy. Oh, hi. How you doing? Yo, my lawyer would have looked at me crazy. You got to give it to me, baby. It's 2020, darling. What is the baddest, and I mean the baddest radio show in the land? Tommy, nephew Tommy, Steve Harvey in the morning show. I love y'all for the last 40 years of my life. I love y'all. Yo, I can't believe this.
There you have it. Law and order, baby.
I'm not laughing. Okay?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man.
You are the king of pranks, so I will give you that.
I ain't going to lie to you, boy. I fell over. I ain't going to lie to you.
Shirley, take us home.
Coming up at the top. I'm trying to. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have entertainment news and our national news update with Miss Ann Tripp right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so Steve, you must have some sort of crystal ball here because Pete Buttigieg has dropped out of the race for the Democratic presidential nomination.
Here we go.
Although he scored a narrow victory in Iowa caucuses and came in second in the New Hampshire primary, Buttigieg did poorly in Nevada on February 22nd and this past Saturday in South Carolina, making it highly unlikely that he could get the nomination. Of course, Donald Trump couldn't wait to tweet his opinion on Buttigieg, calling it quits. He thinks it's a political move to help Joe Biden take on Bernie Sanders. The president tweeted, Pete Buttigieg is OUT, all caps. All of his Super Tuesday votes will go to sleepy Joe Biden. Great timing, he continues. This is the real beginning of the Dems taking Bernie out of play. No nomination again. Meanwhile, Amy Klobuchar, Steve, is also out. She says she's going to endorse Joe Biden. Billionaire Tom Steyer, as we told you yesterday, also withdrew from the race over the weekend. There you go.
Oh, Steyer withdrew.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's start.
Then there were three.
Back when we was doing our first, all these people talking about running.
Cory
all
Booker.
These people that's out, I told you they was going to be out. I've been saying this from day one. I've never waited. Amy finally went on and got out. Pete went on and got out. Now, Donald Trump, I want y'all to listen to what he's doing. Oh, this is a move to sway votes over to Sleepy Joe because he's afraid and take votes away from Bernie Sanders. He wants to run against Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he does.
Because it's an easy sale for him. Because a lot of moderate Democrats don't want to be thought of voting for a person that's labeled and proclaimed socialist. So moderate Democrats wouldn't go to the polls to support that and might even go over to him. But for every person that don't go to the polls, you've cast a vote for Donald Trump.
For Donald Trump, that's right.
See,
that's right.
Because, listen, everybody knows how important the black vote is. When are we going to understand how important our vote is? We have got to get ourselves
Say that again,
together.
Steve.
Say that again.
Everybody knows how important our vote is. When are we going to understand the importance of our vote? Everybody values it. They come to our churches to get it. You don't see them at the church until it's time for this vote.
Hello.
That's how you know.
Biden sitting up at a
Primary
church
and
the day after the primary. The day after Biden sitting. Ain't been to church all year. Not no black church. They don't come to black churches until it's time to get an election. And then they sit in their pulpit and sway off beat and don't know none of the songs, be patting their foot, don't know what them black people sing about. Yeah. Just be looking like
they ain't never heard it.
Hey, do you have a hymn book? No, we don't. We just know these jams. We wrote them.
At my church, we have hymnals.
So you know.
All right, so we got
we've
Biden,
got
Bloomberg, Warren, Sanders now.
Now listen, Elizabeth need to come on. I've been telling y'all, Steve, don't say that. She not finna be president. Elizabeth Warren has never had a chance at the White House, not in reality. Now we down to reality now.
I would like
she
a
got
woman.
to come on. No, it's not about her being a woman or anything. She's just not the person for the White House. Ain't nobody putting nobody in the White House wear earth shoes.
All right, it's Super Tuesday. We're going to check in with Miss Ann now, Steve. Let's go.
Yeah, we can get us some more shoes. Huh?
Where your heels at? Get a skirt on. All these pantsuits.
Take us to Miss Ann, Steve.
They ain't even night like St. John. Give me something. My mom-in-law wears St. John every Sunday. I got my St. John laid out for tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
Okay, here I am in my earth shoes. This is Ann Tripp with the news. President Trump says he doesn't think the situation is serious enough, they're talking about coronavirus, for him to issue an emergency declaration to deal with the deadly virus.
I don't think you'll need that because I really think we're in extremely good shape. We're prepared for anything, and we could always do that at a later date if we need it, but I don't think we need that.
But the president says his administration is considering further travel restrictions. By the way, Trump met with the heads of some pharmaceutical companies yesterday, and discussions reportedly included the possible development of a COVID-19, that's the coronavirus, COVID-19 vaccine, whether certain therapeutic drugs that could be used to treat it, and how to deal with the supply chain disruptions already caused by the outbreak of this disease. At last look, the overall U.S. death toll from the coronavirus has risen to 6, all of them in Washington state. 4 of those elderly residents in the same nursing home, and doctors say they all had other health conditions. And then there were 5, Mike Bloomberg, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, and former Vice President Joe Biden, who goes into today's Super Tuesday balloting, minus billionaire Tom Steyer and Pete Buttigieg, who dropped out of the race over the weekend, and Amy Klobuchar, who ended her campaign yesterday. Now she and former South Bend, Indiana mayor throwing their support to Mr. Biden. Today, 14 states and 1 territory make their primary choices known, with more than a third of the delegates up for grabs today. That's why it's called Super Tuesday. California and Texas will deliver the largest number of the delegates. And now a former presidential hopeful, former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke, has thrown his endorsement to Joe Biden. Reacting to all this, Sanders initially gave his typical type of response. He didn't expect support from the quote establishment. However, during his speech later yesterday in St. Paul, Sanders toned his remarks down, way down.
I know that there are political differences, but I also know that virtually all of Amy's support and Pete's support understand that we have got to move toward a government which believes in justice, not greed.
And he invited the voters to join his effort. The Supreme Court has turned down an appeal of the federal ban on so-called bump stocks, the devices that convert semi-automatic rifles to fire more rapidly. And finally, today is Adopt a Guinea Pig Day.
We like to play football.
That's right. Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, Michael Bloomberg's controversial past with minorities and people of color was clear on Sunday when he spoke at Brown Chapel AME Church in Selma, Alabama. Members of the congregation turned their back on him in protest. Bloomberg was in Alabama with other Democratic candidates to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, when hundreds of civil rights marchers were brutally beaten during a demonstration. When Bloomberg stepped to the podium to deliver his remarks, a handful of people stood up and turned their backs. It was done in silence, and they sat down when he finished. Now, Steve, you're going to love this reverend's name. Reverend Leotis Strong commented.
Come on, Leotis.
Reverend Leotis Strong commented that he thought it was important for Mike Bloomberg to show up and to speak, and for people to hear him out on how he's changed. Clearly, not everyone felt the same way. So. There you go.
Well,
And it's
look,
it's still an uphill battle for him with a lot of African Americans and blacks.
it's okay.
Bloomberg,
It's
yeah.
okay. I understand. I understand African Americans that feel that way. Some people are not forgiving what you did or said in the past. I got it. Now, let me say this. Who are we going to forgive? See, this is what I'm not saying you're wrong for the protest. I'm not saying that at all. So don't nobody
get
get
behind somebody, though.
You can do that. But who are we going to forgive? Donald Trump is president. Do you know the things he said and done? Do you know the bill that Joe Biden was a part of that sent so many black people to prison? Do you understand what Bernie Sanders did not sign up for? Do you know what Bill Clinton did that sent so many blacks to prison? And it was time around you was finna vote for his wife. Look, man, as black people, we've had to forgive, boy, since we've been here. Technically.
And have been doing it, yeah.
Because of 400 years of slavery. Look, man, I understand the penalty that Bloomberg is paying for his past transgressions. We all got them. But if you go back over everything Joe has said, everything Bernie has said, if you go back everything, we won't have a candidate. We just not gonna have one. I'm telling you, man, it's just we gotta get to some point, and we got to hear them get to who we gonna pick right now. I'm telling you right now, if you don't get it together, Donald Trump will be president again. Period. I'm telling you.
All right, Steve, we're moving on. Coming up at 34 minutes after the hour, we're going to get some relationship advice from the one and only Steve Harvey. We call him the CLO, the Chief Love Officer. Young female listener, Steve. Yeah. You got him mixed up.
Wrong voice. I was anticipating something. Go ahead. Uncle Steve is here.
So, Steve, a young female listener has some great questions for you, and we'll talk about it right after this.
No problem.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Okay, Steve, CLO, Chief Love Officer. This young lady's name is Kara L. She's out of Atlanta, and she sent in an email to Steve Harvey FM, okay? No, she didn't mention her age, but by the questions, perhaps you can tell. She said, Steve, this is what I would like to ask Mr. Harvey, because I don't know what's going on with me and my ex-boyfriend. Number one, Steve, do men have serious conversations with women that they don't really care about or just want to sleep with? That's her first question. You want to deal with that, or you want me to?
Conversations with women
with
that
the women
don't care about?
Or just want to sleep with. Or just want to sleep with.
Yeah, men have serious conversations with women that they don't care about. Yes. Yeah, man can have
How
a
you
serious
think we're going to
conversation.
sleep with you if we don't have this conversation?
Right. And do they have serious conversations with women that they just want to sleep with? Yes. That's the most serious conversation you going to have.
Hello?
My whole heart is open.
That's
to
a big one.
Because I'm trying to sleep with you. There is no limits to that.
Yeah.
So yes, men have conversations with women that they don't care about. You can have a friend, and you will have serious conversations with women that you just want to sleep with. Yes. Very serious.
She's young, Steve. She
I
didn't
love
leave her
you.
Age, but yeah.
No, I love you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And been on 5 minutes.
Well, that's
Say
pretty
it with
serious
your
right
to
there.
hear.
Say it.
That's what you need
Girl, he
to
said
hear.
he loved me.
Yeah.
Girl.
Girl, he said he loved me.
And in the middle of it, you can get it the whole time in this session.
Yes.
Yeah. Can get it all up. Yeah.
I love
No,
you.
do you know what we have
Wait.
said in the session?
No, can't
What?
wait for you to get out of here.
Woo.
Yeah.
How do men just up and leave after a long, serious relationship?
Because men don't do closure. Men do not need closure. It's over. Women need closure. Most men don't. We can just up and leave because this is it. So the best way to get over you is with another you.
Hello.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean he ain't somewhere hurting and bleeding on the inside. He can be internally bleeding. Oh, he can be crushed. He can be jacked up. But if we moving on, we moving on. Because to go back and talk to this with you is to bring up an old scab, and that's called closure. We not finna do that.
Well, she also had a question about closure, so I think you answered it. She said you say men do not give closure, and she wants to know why don't men give closure?
For what? It's over.
It's over.
The reason men don't give closure is because it's over.
Man.
The how come and the why not is going to take us into a deeper level of conversation we don't need to have. I don't want you no more. But why? See, now you finna get your feelings hurt. And you could possibly hurt my feelings. See, so because once I tell you what I really think and then you tell me what you really think, now both of us sitting there hurt, and I ain't going to be able to take what you said.
We're not hurting my feelings.
Yeah, you didn't have to tell me because I was small. You didn't have to say that to me. See,
That's
right
why
there.
we don't have closure.
Yeah, I told you our
The
sex
one
wasn't that
question.
good, and then you spun on me and said it's cause you small. Now that right there, see, that's why we not finna do closure. I gave you cause the sex ain't good. Well, the sex ain't good cause you too small. God dog, hold up.
All right. And her last question for you, Steve, Chief Love Officer, is if a man leaves and keeps coming back, what does that mean?
That means you
That's what
are
she wanted
gullible and you allow him to return to the scene of the crime. We leave because we don't want you. We just wanted something from you. So if we keep coming back, it's because we just want what you got. We don't want you. We just want what you got. And if you gullible enough to let us keep coming back, then bam, something wrong with you. If you don't think that much of yourself, then why should we? Hello.
Hey.
Well,
Come
Kara,
on,
I hope
love
that
officer.
answered your question.
Wow.
Steve Harvey,
Hope
you
that
better
answered
tell
your
the
question.
truth, boy.
Okay.
I know I'm telling the truth. Now, you may not like the truth, but it is the truth. Why?
Right.
That ain't right,
All right.
Steve Harvey. I didn't say it was right. I said it was true.
All right, up next, nephew, with the prank phone call for today, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. Subject, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. Wow. Okay.
It's expired or something?
Yeah, you... Are these black people? All right.
Can't be.
Good and hell well,
Ain't
I
no
ain't
way.
got no hall pass. I ain't
got
asked one. And I know good and
This is
hell
not
well,
what
I
we
know not to
do.
bring it up.
Right now, though, nephew, in the building with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
Pecan tree,
Yeah.
Shirley.
Now, what
Sounds
is
real
that
simple,
about?
don't it?
That's
Sounds real
harmless. It
simple.
sounds
Beep,
harmless.
beep.
Yeah.
I like pecans. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody like pecan. Pecan tree. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, I'm trying to reach LC.
This is him.
Hey, my name is Marcus. My mom and them live next door to you, the Mr. and Mrs. My mom and daddy live next door to you. And I was calling because y'all got a pecan tree in y'all backyard. I mean, right on the fence line. And it keep, pecans and stuff keep falling over into my mom and them yard. So I'm calling to see if y'all can do something, man, where y'all can pick up. I mean, my mom and them that got a little older, we've been picking them up for a long time. But I need somebody to, maybe you can cut the limbs back that's hanging over so that they won't, the pecans won't be falling over into my mom and them yard. Because, for them to be bending over like that, picking up them pecans, it's a lot of them. So, Mr. I just wanted to holler at you and see if you don't mind maybe cutting the limbs back, because even when we turn the lawnmower on and stuff, man, it just, the pecans and stuff be coming out of the lawnmower just shooting all over the place.
Well, first of all, my pecan tree is an old pecan tree, and it's sprouted well, and I can't see me cutting it.
Well, I mean, I'm not
you
saying
can't
cut
hire you can't hire nobody to maintain your yard, but I mean, it's your mother. You can maintain your mother's yard.
Sir, I go by my mother's house, every other day and check on her, but I don't have time to go in the back and pick up pecans and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you just, it don't seem no more than like maybe 4 or 5 limbs that's hanging over there, but them 4 or 5 limbs, I mean, there's a lot of pecans falling off of there.
But
so if
it's
you
shady. My pecan tree is shady. I goes back there. There's no kind of nothing back there.
Okay,
you can hire
sir.
someone to rake the yard, whatever.
Sir,
I'm not cutting my tree for no like that.
Sir, listen. What I'm trying to get you to do is I don't want you cutting your entire tree down. I just want you to cut a few limbs, sir. So those are the ones that are hanging over. It won't be, the pecans won't be falling over into my mom's and them yard. And like I say, they older now, man. They can't be bending over like that. So, I'm just coming to you as a man right now and asking you, will you please cut this down so these pecans can quit falling over my mom and them yard?
Well, I'm asking you, all you can do is hire someone. Someone. I know your mother don't cut your yard.
No, it's a guy that cuts the yard. But even when he cutting the yard, these pecans is flying out from underneath the lawnmower. They sooner or later we're gonna be breaking windows over there.
What kind of lawn person you have that don't pick up before they cut? That's some.
Hey, why am I arguing with you about picking up stuff and all of this? I'm asking you to cut a funky little 5 limbs so these doggone pecans ain't falling over my mama's yard.
You want to cut?
You gonna make me come over here and cut the whole? I will come cut the whole damn tree down.
You ain't gonna with my tree. I grew that tree from when I was a kid, and that tree gonna stay in that yard as long as I stay there.
Sir, look, I didn't ask you like a man to cut your little funky pecan tree down. Now I ain't finna have.
You know what? Guess what? You bad enough. You come cut it.
I'm finna look, sir. Today, this evening, it's either going to be 2 things happening. Either you going to cut these 5 limbs that I won't cut, or I'm finna cut the whole damn pecan tree down.
That's my tree, and then ain't nobody going to with my tree. I'm here right now. I'm right here in my yard right now. Come on.
Is you over there right now?
Right now.
I will bring my right on back.
You know what? How the you get my number in the way?
Got your number. I got it because it's the same. It's one address less than my mama's. You gonna cut this damn tree down?
I'm waiting on the anyway. I ain't used my 357 in a long time any way. I've been waiting on a like you.
You done lost your damn mind.
You little young punk. I told you once and I told you twice. I'm old. You young. Don't do that. Fool, we.
See, that's what's right there.
You know what you can do? Tell your mama to make a pecan pie and bring me a piece.
What you say about my mama?
Tell her to make a pecan pie and come for me.
Tell my mama what?
Make a pecan pie with the pecan.
Make a pecan pie? I don't want no pecan pie. We don't even eat pecan pie. We so sick of these damn pecans you got falling over in the backyard. You got to do something about this, man. Now I'm trying not to hurt you, old man. I really am.
Hurt me? Hurt me? Come on, hurt me.
Ready for me? I'm on my way. Is your outside? Is you outside?
You know how I stay. You know when I stay. You know what? I'm here. I'm here. I'm gonna be in your mama driveway. Do what
you get out. You get out my mama driveway right now. Get out my mama driveway.
I want to put me out.
I'm finna.
Out.
You get your back in your driveway. You get out my mama driveway. Get out of it. You get out of my mama driveway.
No. What you crying for now? I'm sorry, told you I'm here waiting on you.
You get out of my mama. Get out of my mama driveway.
Baby, go cook me something, because I'm going to sit here.
I got one more thing I need to say to you. Would you listen?
You don't got a thing to say. I'm waiting at you at your mama house.
This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You just got pranked by your brother.
Man, I don't say this kind of man. I'm going to put my feet. Man, I'm going to milk it so bad. I don't play. I'm too old for this kind of.
LC, do me a favor. First of all, get out them people's yard. Go back to your yard.
Man, you done gave me high blood pressure with this.
Ain't nobody mad about your pecan tree, none of that. Ain't nobody finna cut it down. Ain't nobody tripping. You all right?
Hell no, I got a headache now, man. I be carrying my grandkids to school listening to this. Man, y'all something else, man.
I got one more question for you. Tell me, what is the baddest radio station in the land, LC?
The Steve Harvey Show.
There you have it.
Question.
Just stupid at its best. That's all I'm trying to do, y'all.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean no harm.
Now, that's true right there. True statement right there.
When I go down here to Dothan, stupid this Saturday. Following Saturday, Montgomery, stupid some more. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. I'm on a stupid tour, and I am the star of the tour. That's how it is, okay? April 1st, Wednesday night, Arlington Improv. Stupid. Just real stupid. Now, here goes some people ain't never seen me be stupid before. First time there, Dayton, Ohio, Funny Bone, April 3rd and 4th. They ain't never seen stupid. So they have
I'm going to send the bros down there to see you.
Send the bros. Send them.
I'm going to send Curtis Hassel, Marvelous Marvin.
Come on.
Ricky Spade Curry.
Come on, Ricky.
And who else down there? Let me see. Well, one of the Dirty Four.
Who is that?
Leon Brutus Adams.
Come on, Leon. April 3rd and 4th at the Funny Bone in Dayton, Ohio. Come on, Leon. I'm there. How stupid you want me to be in front of your Dirty Four? How much can they handle?
These are some of the ignorantest people. They've been ignorant way longer than you, Tommy. Please don't challenge them to ignorance.
He say they've been ignorant a long.
Oh, dog.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, they different.
All right, nephew. Thank you, Jesus. King of Pranks. Coming up, Strawberry Letter for today. Subject, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. We'll get into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, guys, it is time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and just click Submit Strawberry Letter. That's all you have to do. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. You hear that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hear it. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it. Fire. Strawberry Letter.
Thank you, Tommy. Subject, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. Dear Stephen Shirley, I'm a 28-year-old married man. I've been married for 2 years, and it's been a rocky 2 years so far. Right after I married my wife, she cheated on me with her ex-boyfriend. I suspected something was going on all along, and she finally did admit it to me, but she said she was drunk and it only happened once. I forgave her eventually, and we're still together. After it happened, my wife said she felt terrible, and she told me there was only one way to make things even. So she offered me a, quote, hall pass, which allowed me to have sex with one person outside of our marriage. I didn't have to tell her who it was or when it happened, just let her know after I'd used my hall pass. Once I forgave her, I had no intentions of cheating on her, and I let her know the proposal was crazy. Now, as time has gone by, I regret that I turned down my hall pass because I ran into an old friend from high school, and she looked better than she's ever looked. She works out now, and everything was right and tight on her body. Around the time I ran into my old classmate, my wife and I had been arguing a lot, and it was stressful at home. So I considered going to my wife to see if I could possibly get my hall pass reinstated. I told my classmate everything that was going on in my head, and she told me to think long and hard about it before I asked my wife. I just want one time with my classmate just to see what I've been missing all of these years. So my question to you is, should I do it and hope it never comes between my marriage, or should I request a hall pass and let my wife know I want to get a little side action like she did? Okay, no and no. And that should conclude my answer. But anyway, okay, you're just begging for trouble and asking for more problems in your already troubled marriage. You said you guys have been arguing of late. The way I see it, you don't really have any options here. Not to use your hall pass that your wife offered to you before, and not to tell her everything. No, don't do that, all right? Don't do that. You said that you forgave her. You guys had a clean slate and everything. You just happened to run into this temptation called your old high school friend, and that's all it is. Temptation, try to fix your marriage, okay? Try to fix it, even though you guys have been, even though it's been, what'd you say, Steve? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I'm so sorry. I just said that ain't all it is, but go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. But anyway, where was I? But anyway, yeah, that don't take that option to go back and ask your wife for the hall pass. I mean, you really think after all this time she's going to say, go ahead and do it now? Just don't. I mean, she might. I don't know. That's maybe the kind of marriage you guys have at 28. But don't do that, okay? Stay and try to fix what's wrong with your marriage right now. Your wife cheated on you with her ex-boyfriend. She said she was drunk. You forgave her. Please try to fix that and move on. Get this girl out of your mind if you can. Don't keep thinking about her, trying to go back, doing all of that. Please don't do that, okay? You're going to cause yourself a world of problems. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Now, if you and your wife end up getting a divorce, then, maybe you want to look up your old high school friend. But right now, I say let it go. Steve?
Ooh, this is a good letter. This is a tough one. This 28-year-old young man, I'm going to try to talk to you like you my son, because I got 28-year-old boy. So I'm going to try, but I want you all to understand before I read this letter and dissect it. I'm a grown man, and all my advice is not perfect. Some of this is for comedy, and some of it is, well, it's just a damn letter. He been married for 2 years. He's rocky. Right after he got married, his wife cheated on him with her ex-boyfriend. So then he said, I suspected something was going on all along, and she finally admitted to me, but she said she was drunk and it only happened once. This over with now. There's no need for no letter, because you ain't planning on quit drinking, are you? So all this could happen again. Well, she said she was sorry, and it only happened once she was drunk. Well, she ain't went to Alcoholics Anonymous or nothing. So if you ain't gonna quit drinking, this has the potential of it could happen all over again. Now, I'm not mad at nobody because they get drunk, they go have sex with somebody. We got to get out of this marriage now, because last time I checked, they sell alcohol everywhere. So now I'm married to a person that can't pass nothing without passing out something. If you can't pass a bar without passing out something, girl, this marriage can't work. So now, me and you through anyway. I forgave her eventually, and we're still together. Now, after it happened, my wife said she felt terrible, and she told me that the only way to make things even, she offered me a hall pass, which allowed me to have sex with one person outside our marriage. I didn't have to tell her who it was or when it happened. Just let her know after I had used my hall pass. Boy, if this wasn't an opportunity for you to capitalize and never mention the damn hall pass.
Right. Hold on, Steve. We'll have part two of your response coming up.
What kind of marriage
at 23 minutes after.
Never been offered a damn hall pass. I just got caught in the damn hall. I ain't have pass or nothing.
All right. Subject today, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. We'll be back at 23 minutes after the hour to get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter and wrap up part two of your response.
Yeah,
let's go.
This 28-year-old dude married. 2 years, been rocky. Found out his wife cheated on her with her ex-boyfriend. She said it only happened once. He was drunk. I don't like that excuse. I was drunk. That's why it happened. Seeing as how they continue to sell alcohol worldwide, damn near. Worldwide. I don't see how this can't happen again.
So you can't.
Yeah, I don't know where she can go. Well, they ain't serving no alcohol. Rockingham, North Carolina was a dry county. But even if you drove 10 miles, you could get drunk over there and drive back home and screw the gas station attendant. So I'm not real secure with her, but you forgave her. And so she decided to make things even, to give you a hall pass, which allows this dude to have sex with one person outside their marriage. He told her, you don't have to tell me who it was or when it happened. Just let her know after I had used my hall pass. Now, he said once I forgave her, I had no intentions of cheating on her, And I let her know that the proposal was crazy. I ain't going to judge you. I think that's a noble thing to do, young man. You want to be in a committed marriage. 2 wrongs don't make a right. That was a wonderfully adult decision that you made. Far ahead of my years at 28.
Me too. At 50.
I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. Still there now.
I had never heard of a hall pass, nor has anyone ever given me a hall pass. I ain't had a girlfriend with a hall pass. Now, not to say I wasn't out in the hall. I've been out in the hall monitor stopping me, everything. Polaroids, everything. But that's you. Now, as time has gone by, I regret that I turned down the hall pass because I ran into an old friend from high school, and she looked better than she ever looked. She work out now, and everything was right and tight on her body. Around the time I ran into my old classmate, my wife and I had been arguing a lot and was stressful at home. Well, son, she gave.
What? What, Steve?
She gave you a pass.
What are you saying?
She gave you a pass. You had to pass. I didn't. Anyway, and so now I've considered going to my wife. Here where to let her get real damn dumb. Yeah. It's been stupid, but now we entered into dumbdom. So I considered going to my wife to see if I could possibly get my hall pass reinstated. What? Boy, what did your dumb ass just say? What? You finna... What did you say? You finna go to your wife, a woman. You finna go to a female. Tell her that her proposal was crazy. Come back after you ran up into an old classmate, and you're gonna ask her to reconsider reinstating your hall pass. Let me ask you something. How do you imagine this going down? Tell me how you introduce this concept to your wife. Okay, now, after you get out the hospital, what I want you to do is, I want you to then think about how Uncle Steve told your dumb ass not to say that. Boy, you cannot go in there with your stupid ass and say that. Listen to me. Anyway, the original hall pass was a trap. And you played the right thing by saying this proposal is crazy. That was the perfect response. But all being said, if you was going to do it, you should have took your hall pass. And then just said, I just told you it was a crazy ass proposal, but I took the pass. And then you'd have been clear. But now you going to go back and ask to reinstate it? Now, here's what your dumb ass did. You went back to your classmate and told her what was going on in your head, and your classmate told you to think long and hard about it before I asked my wife. Hold on, Don. You went to the woman that you want to cheat with and asked her, should I ask my wife, can I have a hall pass to cheat with you? Dog, I'm going to make this statement right here. You ain't got no daddy. Yeah, there's no way you have a daddy. It's no way. You was raised without a father. I'm gonna just say that. So let Uncle Steve help you out. Hey, dog, quit talking to your new classmate, potential mistress, about your wife. That's rule number one. Secondly, don't go in there and ask your wife to reinstate no damn hall pass. Now, Shirley said, get the girl out your mind. That's impossible. How do you get temptation? No, Shirley, you can't try to get somebody out your mind. Yeah. That ain't how it works. Because you can't control your mind with what comes in it. You control how you process it, but you can't stop the sin and the temptation from entering your mind. He's 28 years old. He in trouble. He finna sleep with this girl.
Oh, yeah. I didn't sleep with her. I ain't even not in my mind. I was
What?
Hell yeah.
All right. Listen, we're going to come back with part 3 of this strawberry letter today. It's a good one. Subject, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, you had part 3 of today's Strawberry Letter. The subject, I need my wife to reinstate my hall pass. Let's recap quickly.
Shirley, this letter was a 28-year-old dude that was married. His wife cheated on him.
Mm-hmm.
He forgave her, but she felt bad about it, and so said to even it up, she gave the dude a hall pass. He told her he wasn't interested in a hall pass. He thought that proposal was crazy because he didn't want to cheat on his wife. Man.
Yeah.
So then he regretted he turned it down because he ran up into an old friend from high school, and she was looking better than ever. She worked out now. Everything was right and tight on her body. And around the time that he ran up into her, him and his girl had been arguing a lot and stressful at home. So here was his dilemma. I've considered going to my wife to see if I could possibly get my hall pass reinstated.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
crazy.
What? And I told him before the break, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. But then it got dumber. He said, and I told my classmate, the woman that he wanted to sleep with, he told his classmate, the chick that he ran up into with the banging body, that everything that was going on in my head, and she told me to think long and hard about it before I asked my wife. Hey, fool. You gonna go to your wife and ask her, can she reinstate the hall pass? And you didn't ask the girl, the potential mistress that you gonna sleep with, what her opinion is, and she tells you to think long and hard about it. So my question to you is, should I do it now? You cannot discuss your wife with a chick that you talking to on the side. That's how all affairs start. Dog, you don't ever, listen to me, you don't ever talk about your wife to another human being. Your wife is off limit to the opinion of other people. Now, dog, if you go to your boy and go, man, my girl at the house tripping, that's one thing. But you don't go to no woman and talk about your wife to a woman? Are you, dog, you breaking the rules, son. Now, you stop this. Now, Shirley said, get this out your mind. That's not going to happen.
It's gonna happen. The sex gonna happen.
Now he got another problem. It's just how he gonna play this. Cause he finna have sex with this girl, Shirley, and it don't matter what the hell we say.
Oh,
he gone. He
we
gone.
have self-control, guys. We do have self-control.
We got control.
You can leave your comments on today's letter on Instagram at Steve Harvey FM and check out the Strawberry Letter.
We have
podcast
control.
On demand.
He don't have control. He 28.
God. Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll
it's two
we'll
people
do a bunch
thinking
of stuff.
on
We'll
it
talk
now.
We'll talk about trending headlines, and guess what? It's still Super Tuesday. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, only days after turning 18 years old and becoming a legal adult, the youngest son of Michael Jackson bought a 6-bedroom starter home. Did you hear me? Starter home. Prince Michael Jackson paid $2.6 million for his new home.
That's because Michael broke and don't have
neighborhood.
no money. Everybody that keeps saying that.
All the starter homes I know is 2 bedrooms, man. Where you get that?
Yeah. 6.
Right. This is his starter home now. $2.6 million. Mm-hmm.
He 18.
What was your first? What was your starter home like, Steve?
My first home, I was on TV before I bought my first home. My very first home.
Well, let's go.
Well, I mean, my very first
apartment.
Starter apartment. $185 a month, and I was late every first.
And was
that
late.
$5 a day was choking my ass. Dog, I turned my rent and went up to $195. Dog, then the second apartment I got was $215 a month. Woo!
Woo! That killed you.
Now, when I was working at Ford Motor Company, I had money.
Mm-hmm.
My apartment was, I think my apartment was $260 a month. But I was balling at Ford Motor Company. But after I came out of homelessness, my first apartment was $185. Second one was $215. I never paid my rent on the first. Ever.
Because you had to go make the money, right?
Yeah, I was hustling, man. So when these comedy dates didn't fall right, I got to get back home. $5
Yeah.
per late day? Good Lord.
I give anything.
We on the 17th?
185, 215 right now, boy. What?
What are you really? So, Steve, is this the apartment where you really had like the love beads or whatever you called them, where you really had it decorated nicely? You
No,
put
the
stuff
love
up
beads
on
was
the
when I
ceiling?
stayed upstairs at my mama's house. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Describe
that's
that
when
one again, because that one.
That's when I first flunked out of college, and I asked my daddy could I stay at the house for 6 months, because he had told me not to come back home. Because once you leave his house,
After
you
you
can't
left.
come back. So I got a job right at Ford Motor Company. I told him, can I stay here 6 months? He said, yeah. In 6 months, you got to be gone now, because there ain't but one king at this castle. Okay, cool. So I had an attic. So I split my attic in half. I had the closet, but it had all the Christmas stuff in it. It was a walk-in, but not really. And it had all the Christmas stuff in it because it was part of the attic.
Yeah.
And all my clothes always smell like mothballs, but didn't nobody ever, I never had moths on none of my clothes. And so I made half of my bedroom chocolate brown and the other half shag now. I bought the latest, shag. Half my bedroom was chocolate brown and the other half was orange with brown specks in it, boy. And then where the carpet divided at, I hung up brown, tan, cream, and gold beads. Beads. So you had to part them to go over there to the living room that I had a Sears love seat on the wall for $285. That was my first credit card from Sears. Had a $285 love seat, and I had a hot, stolen $300 Radio Shack sound system that cost $2,000. Bought it hot at
For $300.
Yeah, for $300. Bought it hot. Tower speakers and everything from Radio Shack. $2,000. Got it for $300. Had a 8-track, a cassette, and a turntable. Pimp,
That's
I could play
everything.
anything that came. I don't care what format you in. And this was before there was formats. Yeah. And them beads divided my room. And I had a director's chair for $29 that I ordered at Sears that you had to wait for 2 weeks to get. And it came, my name was on the back of it, Steve. It was a white director's chair with chocolate brown seating on it. You couldn't and I had a bean bag, pleather bean bag.
Coming up, more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show at 20 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
An Oklahoma City man had an unusual house guest in his attic. After
wasn't
hearing
me.
noises, it wasn't Steve Harvey.
I stayed in my mom
We
and
talked
them
about
attic.
that at the last break. After hearing noises coming from his attic, the man assumed that he had a squirrel or something trapped up in there. When the noises got louder, though, he knew that he had to go check it out. He grabbed his rifle, walked into his attic to find a man there.
Wow.
The stranger had set up a mattress and was basically living up in this man's attic. The homeowner called the police and held the man at gunpoint until they arrived. The intruder was arrested and charged with burglary.
This would have been
Steve,
totally
I
different
gotta
at
ask
my
you this.
daddy's house. Totally different.
Oh, no, they'd have let him
my
up.
daddy's
He'd have
house.
let him up.
Yeah. No, my father
He'd have
older
let
than
him.
5.
No doubt to it.
He don't give a damn if you try to pull that mattress on top of you. No, my father, if he walk upstairs and there's a man in our attic trying to
gone. Yeah.
That's
That's going to be a different phone call that we make. We making a different call.
That's it.
Yeah, he can ease downstairs and call. Matter of fact, he ain't got to hold him at gunpoint. All my father, when the police come, he up there.
Well,
You need
I'm
a
just
gurney.
saying, how did he not know this man was in his attic, though? I mean, do you think you could do that? I know you have a big house, Steve. Tommy, you have a chateau. Do you think you got security? I know.
It's not even worth it.
All right, we'll be back with more of the Steve Harvey Morning Show and some trending stories coming up at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, so Steve, you must have some sort of crystal ball here because Pete Buttigieg has dropped out of the race for the Democratic presidential nomination.
Here we go.
Although he scored a narrow victory in Iowa caucuses and came in second in the New Hampshire primary, Buttigieg did poorly in Nevada on February 22nd and this past Saturday in South Carolina, making it highly unlikely that he could get the nomination. Of course, Donald Trump couldn't wait to tweet his opinion on Buttigieg, calling it quits. He thinks it's a political move to help Joe Biden take on Bernie Sanders. The president tweeted, Pete Buttigieg is OUT, all caps. All of his Super Tuesday votes will go to sleepy Joe Biden. Great timing. He continues, this is the real beginning of the Dems taking Bernie out of play. No nomination again. Meanwhile, Amy Klobuchar, Steve, is also out. She says she's going to endorse Joe Biden. Billionaire Tom Steyer, as we told you yesterday, also withdrew from the race over the weekend. There you go.
Back when we were doing our first, all these people talking about running. I've been saying this from day one. I've never waited. Amy finally went on and got out. Pete went on and got out. Now, Donald Trump, I want y'all to listen to what he's doing. Oh, this is a move to sway votes over to Sleepy Joe because he's afraid and take votes away from Bernie Sanders. He wants to run against Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he does.
Because it's an easy sale for him. Because a lot of moderate Democrats don't want to be thought of voting for a person that's labeled and proclaimed socialist. So moderate Democrats wouldn't go to the polls to support that and might even go over to him. But if for every person that don't go to the polls, you've cast a vote for Donald Trump.
For Donald Trump, that's right.
See,
that's right.
Because, listen, everybody knows how important the black vote is. When are we going to understand how important our vote is? We have got to get ourselves
Say that
together.
again, Steve.
Say that again. Everybody knows how important our vote is. When are we going to understand the importance of our vote? Everybody values it. They come to our churches to get it. You don't see them at the church until it's time for this vote.
Hello.
That's how you know.
Biden sitting up at a church the day after the primary. The day after Biden sitting. Ain't been to church all year. Not no black church. They don't come to black churches until it's time to get an election. And then they sit in the pulpit and sway off beat and don't know none of the songs, be patting their foot, don't know what them black people sing about. Yeah. Just be looking like
they ain't never heard it.
Hey, do you have a hymn book? No, we don't. We just know these jams. We wrote them.
At my church, we have hymnals. Coming up, our last break of the day. And of course, some closing remarks from the one and only.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Here we are, our last break of the day, guys. It's been a good day.
It's a great day.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Steve.
What a day.
Yeah.
Are you going to say it again or what?
It's the last break of the day.
I hate when you leave me hanging like that.
You know, Jay started it, and then he old, and so he forgot how he said it.
He forgot.
It's the last break of the day. What's going, boy? You forgot.
I had a talk with him. He forgot, yeah.
Good day.
All right, Steve, you got some closing remarks.
I cannot tell you how this has really been troubling me. That how politics is done. Listen to me. If you've never felt that you were important before, I want you to start thinking of how important you really, really are to the fiber and the outcome of the direction that this country can go in. You have a say-so. But see, we are so quick to point out what we don't have, what we missed out on. You know, if we as minorities weren't held up, I got all of that. I've suffered just like anybody else trying to turn myself into something. But through prayer and grace and mercy, I was able to accomplish a lot of my dreams, and you can too. But you can't harp on the negative, because we are valuable here. We are very, very valuable. If we were not valuable, why do they pursue us so toughly and openly pursue us? We are the lead story on CNN, MSNBC, every story, Bloomberg. We are the lead of every candidate. They mark a way to come and sit in our churches during election time. They come to mention us during election time. They stand us back behind the candidates at all the elections and make sure we got a sign during election time. They come up and they talk about reparations during election time. Oh, they talk about crime and how blacks have been held out of the system, how they want to change the way blacks are handled in the judicial system, in the police system. Oh, they all do this during election time. They talk about, man, how important we are, how many women vote, how to nurture this vote, how to fertilize, how to cultivate the vote during election time, because we are important to their success as a candidate in the Democratic Party during election time. But I want to say something to you. Donald Trump needs 12% of the African-American voters, and if he gets 12% of African-American voters, he wins the White House again. That's why they came up with the campaign called Woke. Didn't no white person come up with woke. This is a black person who works for Donald Trump, who says we're going to call this campaign woke. That no white person did that. That's a slogan we came up with. Now look, I'm not knocking you if you vote for Trump. I don't care who you vote for. You have one vote. But you got to be smart with the vote. And you got to use your vote. And you got to make your vote count. But Donald Trump ain't talking to us about woke. Donald Trump got one black cabinet member. His name is Ben Carson. He's a neurosurgeon, and he's the head of HUD. Donald Trump don't have a black person in the White House nowhere else I ain't seen. And remember the black dude that used to be in all the rallies with the Blacks for Trump t-shirt with the ponytail? Oh, when they did their research and they found out who he was, oh, they pulled him out of there. Because if you go to Netflix, he all over that. They found out who they really had been pushing. They went, oh my God, he ain't been at a rally since. See, but we are important to them. We have to understand our importance and use it and vote. We can change the course of what's happening here, and they know it. Biden needs us. Bloomberg, look at Bloomberg ads. He done spent $500 million in damn near every ad. He either talking to some blacks or about blacks, and blacks is in there. I don't care what you do. Elizabeth Warren got something to say. All of them got something to say, but they gone. Ain't nobody left in this thing but Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and Elizabeth Warren. And Bloomberg is still in it. And they need you to get the nod to be the presidential candidate in the Democratic Party. Let me tell you what now. Forget woke. We need to wake up and realize the power that we have and be smart and start using your power. Get to the polls and vote. Now, black people should not all vote for one candidate. We're different people. We have different thoughts. I get it. Every black person not going to vote for Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders. Some black people going to vote for Trump. Don't get mad at them. They done decided to live their life like that. Let them go ahead. But if you get out and vote, you make the difference. Don't vote. It's a vote for the other side. Those are my closing remarks. Y'all stay awake because they are. All right? Y'all have a great weekend.
Yes,
Holla at you.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Super Tuesday, baby.
During election time.
For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit steveharveyfm.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.